This is the remarkable tale of a man who defied the odds, surviving 438 days lost at sea in the vast and unforgiving Pacific Ocean.
It's the kind of unbelievable story. That's what the world is trying to figure out after a man.
Story of a man who says he's been lost at sea for over a year.
His story is one of survival and an unimaginable test of human endurance.
How many days were you out on that boat?
Tuve 438 días.
Yet even after his miraculous return, his journey took a shocking turn, leading him from the open sea to the confines of a jail cell. Watch as we unravel the full story of Josh Salvador Alvarenga, a man who made history by surviving the unthinkable. The Pacific Ocean is not just the largest ocean on Earth, but also one of the most ruthless. It spans over 148 million square kilometers, a vast expanse that could engulf entire continents. Its waters are dotted with isolated islands, some of which remain unexplored by humans. Survival seems nearly impossible for anyone unfortunate enough to get lost in this ocean. But this is the story of a man who did the impossible. In 2012, Josh Salvador Alvarenga, a seasoned 36-year-old fisherman from Costa Azul, Mexico, set out on what was supposed to be a routine fishing trip. On November 17, 2012, Josh and his friend embarked on their small 7-foot boat, intending to fish for just 30 hours. The boat was equipped with only a single engine and a fridge. They ventured about 120 kilometers from the coast when they noticed a fierce storm heading their way. With no time to waste, they abandoned their nets and sped toward shore. For 6 hours, they battled the storm, coming within 10 kilometers of the shore when disaster struck. The boat's engine failed. They could see their village, tantalizingly close, yet out of reach. They sent out a distress signal via radio, but fate dealt another blow. The radio's battery died. As the storm raged on, their small boat was swept further and further away from land. A search party was dispatched, but by then, Josh and his friend had drifted 450 kilometers from shore. Their situation grew more desperate by the hour. With no food, no fishing gear, and no way to signal for help, survival seemed bleak. They relied on rainwater to quench their thirst and resorted to catching birds and turtles to stay alive. As days turned into months, the relentless ocean took its toll. After 4 agonizing months, Josh's friend could no longer bear the suffering and took his own life, leaving Josh utterly alone. Despite the overwhelming despair, Josh clung to life, drifting aimlessly in the quietest part of the Pacific Ocean, an area traversed only by cargo ships. 6 months into his ordeal, Josh spotted a cargo ship in the distance. It was the first sign of human life he had seen in months, but despite his desperate attempts to signal, the ship passed by without noticing him. Alone, heartbroken, and 8,000 kilometers from home, Josh's hope waned. Then, on January 30th, 2014, after 438 days at sea, Josh saw coconuts floating in the water and birds circling above. He knew he was close to land. In the distance, he spotted an island. With his last reserves of strength, Josh paddled towards it, eventually reaching the shores of Ebon Atoll, one of the world's smallest islands. After 14 months lost at sea, he finally set foot on solid ground. Josh was found by a resident who contacted the authorities. Overwhelmed with emotion, Josh shared his incredible journey with the police, but his story was met with skepticism. How could anyone survive such an ordeal? It wasn't until his former boss confirmed his identity that Josh's story was believed. Yet his troubles didn't end there. Because he had entered another country without a visa, Josh was detained and eventually sent back to Mexico. Even more shocking, the family of his deceased friend accused Josh of cannibalism. alleging that he had killed and eaten his companion to survive. After a lengthy legal battle, Josh was finally cleared of all charges. In the aftermath, Josh published a book, 438 Days, detailing his harrowing experience. His story serves as a powerful reminder that even in the face of insurmountable odds, the human spirit can endure. Josh's journey teaches us that no matter how dark the path may seem, there is always hope.